Hey everyone, welcome back to She Speaks Sports, the podcast where we talk about sports in simple English for learners around the world. I'm Billy.
And I'm Jetta. Today we're talking about something really exciting. Why are so many new women's sports leagues starting around the world?
Oh my gosh, yes, I am so excited about this topic. Everywhere I look, there are new professional leagues for women soccer, basketball, hockey.
Right, and the big question is why now? Is it because more fans want women's sports, or is it because businesses see money making opportunities?
Okay, so first, let me explain what a professional league is for our listeners. A professional league means athletes get paid to play, it's their job.
Exactly, and these athletes compete in organized seasons with teams, rules, and championships. Now, I think the growth
Growth is mainly about business. Wait, what? No way. I totally disagree. I think it's about equality and what fans want. People are finally demanding that female athletes get the same opportunities as men.
I understand your point, but look at the numbers. Companies are investing in women's sports because they see profit. Let me give you some data.
Okay, hit me
With the statistic,
stick.
media coverage of women's sports increased by 300% in the last 5 years. That means more viewers, and more viewers means more revenue. That's money from advertising and sponsorship.
Let me give you some concrete examples. Like, look at the NWSL. That's the National Women's Soccer League in the United States. When it started in 2013, it had only 8 teams, but now it has 14 teams and is expanding internationally.
That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. The NWSL expansion happened because investors saw the potential return on investment. Each new team costs millions to start, and business people don't spend millions without expecting profits.
But you know what? Sponsorship comes from popularity, and popularity comes from fans. Look at Angel City FC in Los Angeles, such an inspiring success story. They started with a group of investors that included many female celebrities and athletes. They raised over $35 million before the team even played their first game. That shows how much excitement there is when fans demand better women's soccer coverage.
That's exactly what smart business looks like. Those investors knew that Los Angeles has a huge market for sports entertainment, and they positioned themselves to capture that market. The celebrity involvement created immediate media attention and fan interest, which translated into sponsorship value from day one.
And you know what makes me even more excited? This is happening globally. Big brands like Nike and Adidas are now investing millions in women's leagues because they see the passionate fan base that's already there. I agree.
The fan base matters, but let's be honest, businesses create demand too. When companies invest money in marketing and promotion,
Promoting women's sports, more people watch. But look beyond just the US. England's Women's Super League, Australia's A League Women, and the new Liga F in Spain, these leagues are growing because fans in these countries demanded better women's football coverage. The World Cup really showed how much people love watching women's soccer.
and it's not just soccer either. Look at basketball. The WNBA has been around since 1997. But now we're seeing new leagues like the Basketball Africa League creating women's divisions. Hockey has the Premier Hockey Federation, and there are new professional volleyball leagues starting in different countries.
Okay, I see your point, but you know what? I think it started with culture change. Society started believing that women deserve the same opportunities as men in sports. That's definitely part.
Part of it, the push for equality has been huge, but smart business people saw this cultural change and decided to invest.
You make it sound so cold. What about the amazing athletes who worked so hard for these opportunities? Like, have you watched women's basketball lately? The skill level is incredible.
Oh, absolutely. The athlete quality has always been high, but now there's money to support these talented players properly. Investment creates better training, better facilities, better everything.
But you know what, Jetta? These leagues still face huge challenges. Ticket sales are often lower than men's sports, And TV ratings, that means how many people watch on television, are still building up. Many female athletes have to work other jobs because the salaries aren't enough to live on.
You're absolutely right about those challenges. That's exactly why business investment is so crucial. When venture capital firms, those are companies that invest in new businesses, put money into women's sports, they can offer better salaries, build better training facilities, and hire professional coaching staff. Money really does solve many of these problems.
I guess we're both right in different ways. The cultural demand for equality created the opportunity, and then businesses saw the potential for profit.
Exactly. It's like a cycle. Fan interest leads to media coverage, which brings sponsorship money, which creates better leagues, which attract more fans. The cycle just keeps growing.
And the really exciting thing is that this cycle is just getting started. Every new league creates more opportunities for female athletes around the world.
The numbers support that too. Revenue from women's sports leagues has doubled in just 3 years. That's sustainable growth.
I want to talk about social media too. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have been game changers. That means they completely changed everything. Female athletes can build their own personal brands and connect directly with fans. They don't have to wait for traditional TV coverage anymore.
Exactly. That's another business angle I was thinking about. Social media creates measurable audience engagement, and companies can track exactly how many people interact with women's sports content. This data helps them decide where to spend their advertising budgets. It's all connected to those revenue streams we were discussing.
You know what's really interesting about social media? It's helping women's sports grow differently in different countries. In places like Scandinavia, where gender equality in sports has been normal for decades, social media just amplifies what's already there. But in other regions, it's actually helping create that cultural change we talked about by giving female athletes a platform to build their own fan base.
That's why we see different business models in different regions, too. In markets where women's sports are already popular, companies compete for sponsorship deals. But in emerging markets, businesses often have to invest in education and marketing first to build the audience. The social media data actually helps them understand which approach works best in each region.
So, what do you think we'll see in the next 5 years, Jetta? I predict we'll have professional women's leagues in sports that don't even have them yet, like cricket, rugby, and maybe even esports getting more organized women's competitions.
From a business perspective, I think we'll see consolidation. That means smaller leagues joining together to create bigger, more profitable organizations. We'll also see more international tournaments because they generate higher TV revenues than domestic leagues.
Speaking of the future, one thing that makes me really optimistic is thinking about young girls around the world watching these professional leagues. When a 10-year-old girl sees women playing soccer or basketball professionally, whether it's on traditional TV or social media, she knows she can dream of doing that too. That representation is so powerful, and it's happening globally now.
And from a business standpoint, that creates what we call a talent pipeline. More girls playing sports means higher skill levels in the future, which means better competition, which attracts more viewers and sponsors. It's a smart, long-term investment in the product quality. Plus, there are so many job opportunities now. Women's sports leagues need broadcasters, marketers, analysts, social media managers, and other professionals.
For our listeners who want to support women's sports, here's what you can do. Watch games on TV or streaming services, buy tickets when teams visit your city, follow female athletes on social media, and talk about women's sports with your friends and family. Every view, every ticket, every conversation helps these leagues grow and creates more opportunities. I have to say, Billy, even though we started
This conversation with different perspectives, I think we both agree that women's sports leagues are here to stay. Whether it's driven by passion for equality, like you believe, or smart business decisions, like I focus on, or both working together, the result is the same.
same, more opportunities for female athletes worldwide. Absolutely. And for our listeners who are learning English, following women's sports news is actually a great way to practice your reading and listening skills. The stories are inspiring, and you'll learn useful vocabulary for business conversations, like the words we use today: venture capital, revenue streams, personal brand, and representation.
Thanks for listening to She Speaks Sports today. Keep supporting women's sports, whether you're passionate like Billy or analytical like me. And remember that every conversation about women's athletics helps build that fan base we discussed.
See you next time when we'll discuss another exciting sports topic. Keep learning, keep listening, and keep speaking English.